Welcome to British Academy Hackney Live for BBC School Report. Today's headlines are David Cameron is at the White House, Greece's potato revolution is a go and they're trying to increase money for the poor. Bo Xilai has been removed from his place in China because he has been scammed. Greece's potato revolution has been a go because they're in a recession and it's becoming increasingly hard to get money. They're using potatoes to farm them and sell them because they're basic products and everybody will buy them. Bo Xilai has been taken from his place in China because he has been scammed and he is ineligible to be a leader in China. David and Samantha Cameron have been enjoying their stay at the White House because Barack Obama and Michelle Obama have invited them there. They have been watching basketball matches and eating hot dogs and other related American foods. Now we will interview Ms. Perrier for her interview. She is an expert in international relationships. So, Ms. Perrier, how do you think of the Americans joining the UK?
Well, I think if your question is, should America and the UK be united, I would say the answer is no. In fact, they were actually one country. Britain used to rule the colonies in America, and that was the cause of the American Wars of Independence back in the 18th century. So they were once joined, and actually there was a revolution to get rid of the British. If your question is about should we have close relationships with the USA, then I think yes, it is positive for us to have close relationships. There are lots of similarities between our two countries, and particularly in terms of trade, we benefit from being very close to the USA. Historically, again, we have been allies for many years. If you think back to both the First and the Second World War, we have been allies with America, and that has been largely beneficial. I think possibly in recent years we may have become too close to America and perhaps followed American foreign policy and followed their lead when perhaps that wasn't always the right decision for Britain. But I think by and large having a positive relationship where there is kind of trade and mutual sharing of military support, I think is a positive thing.
Do you think that them joining, you know how they have had wars and 9/11 and stuff like that, do you think us joining will increase the chances of us getting bombed or terrorist attacks, other related stuff?
That has been a criticism of particularly Tony Blair when he was Prime Minister and his close relationship with George Bush. So when Britain followed the USA into Afghanistan and into Iraq, several years later we had the 7/7 bombings, and there have been lots of people who've connected the increase in the threat of terrorism and kind of Islamic fundamentalism and threats of terrorism in this country, and have connected that with Britain's relationship with America. Now, unfortunately, I'm not an expert on that area, but I think it has been a criticism of the past, and it might continue to be a criticism if we are seen to kind of follow the USA too closely. But I think both Britain and the USA, if we look at their involvement in Libya, for example, have been a little bit more cautious about sort of going headlong and intervening in other countries in the same way, given their experience in Iraq and Afghanistan.
How do you think of it being, like, in the future, how do you think the relationship will be? Will it be another civil war, or will it be quite well and we'll work in harmony?
I think things are looking quite good for the relationship between Britain and America, despite the fact that Cameron and Barack Obama are actually from sort of different sides of the political spectrum. They seem to be working well together, and they are sort of collaborating on some of the big economic issues. So I think by and large things are looking good for our relationship.
Thank you, Ms. Perrier. We are reporting live from BBC News in British Academy Hackney. Thank you.